Good morning everyone, this is RangerRob and welcome to the RangerRob Country Living channel. And today we're going to talk about hydroponics lesson learned. These are just little things as I'm starting out. I've always claimed to be a beginner and I'm learning. So let's start with the green room first. So you guys have seen me kind of playing around with an experimental float raft over here. And it's done well. And it's done bad too. The key thing I found with this was having a good raft, making sure you have an aerator. But the thing I really failed on at first was a good grow light. It's all about the grow light when it's indoors, that is a hard lesson learned because I've already gone through like 3 different lights. So. I wanted to point out that is if you're going to do the raft system, especially indoors, spend the money for a good grow light. It's totally worth it in the long run. Alright, the second thing I want to move on to is growing towers. Now, I have a growing tower that is not recycling the water. So, in order to have a system like this, you have to have a tank. And my drawback on the tank and the water is it doesn't take very much. You only need about 5 or 6 minutes of watering time. My problem has been finding a good timer. So if you're going to do a tower system like this and run nutrients, you want to be conservative with your nutrients, otherwise you'll be wasting a lot of nutrients. It's important to find out what your run time should be. Mine is about 6 minutes once a day. And you think I could find a decent timer that that can handle that schedule and handle being outside and is easy to use. Anyway, I'm still working on that. I have a new timer in. Right now I'm using a mechanical timer, but it only works in 15-minute intervals, so it's running too long. The other thing on towers is distributing the water. Some people will put a plate on the top and distribute the water that way. The problem with these kind of guys is they have these indents and then the next flower. So if all your water is going in there, some of it will come into the back side of it. But I found once I set up this watering system, I had to make sure that this side was getting water as much as these were. This is no problem. It goes from here to here to here. But from here to there is a little bit of a problem. So you have to be aware of that. So, lesson learned. And next thing we'll talk about is the NFT system, what I've learned so far. One is, it's really cool. But if you're going to have something outdoor, then now you have to start dealing with the outdoor elements. So in our case, unexpected freezes early in the season, and the second part is an NFT system has water that runs kind of slowly along the bottom. So the difference between a raft and other types of hydroponics is if you're using net cups, it's easy to get everything into the water. But here you have a distance from the top to the bottom. So an NFT, and actually I was worried about something I really don't have to worry about. If you're using Rockwell cubes, like this stuff here, you don't have to worry about the roots hitting the water right away. You kept hearing me talk about let the roots grow before I put them in here. But what you want to also have is like a little suction cup or suction device to pull some of your nutrients out of this hole here and wet the Rockwell cube down below. As long as the Rockwell cube has nutrients and water, the plant's okay even if the roots aren't touching the water below. They will eventually get there. So I can plant this thing even if the roots aren't touching the water, as long as I manually water the Rockwell cubes to make sure that my new seedlings are are getting water and they're growing. So that was a lesson learned. And realizing that finding pipe is not exactly cheap either. I think I once said on the video, I should have fixed it, that I paid $19 a foot for it. Was $19 a pipe, a 10-foot pipe. So this was not a cheap system, but it's very cool. Very, very happy with it. So I'll be quite interested in seeing how the results from this. I'm really interested to see how I do with the vining types of plants. So yeah, lessons learned so far. And believe me, I'll have other videos on this stuff. Moving right along to other lessons learned. Building your own greenhouse. That was definitely a challenge. Yeah, I could have ordered a kit, but we built ours by hand. And all I can say is I learned a hell of a lot. But what I really want to talk about is the Rafts system and what I've learned about algae. So it was really easy when I was building everything white. People were saying don't use white buckets and you'll get algae. And here's what I learned about the Rafts. So if you're using a rock-wool cube in a 2-inch cup, and that cube is up above on the top being exposed to light, you'll get algae. For example, see how green these are? And that's a natural thing, the reaction between your nutrients and light. So what I think I've got to start doing is, there's no harm done really, is I'm going to start putting little plates around these plants to try not to expose the rock wool to so much light. And you have the same problem with perlite. For example, if you look at our perlite that was nice and white, but you can see here that it gets algae on the top. And I do have lids for these buckets. So, and some people wrap their buckets in like black, make them dark colored, because light will definitely cause algae with the reaction to the nutrients. And I heard about that and I didn't really think it was that big a deal, but over time I can see that that's a constant battle. For example, even on the floating rafts, because I have aerators underneath the raft, the water's bubbling, so where that bubbles come in through, that water's been exposed to light and causes algae. And but it's sure not hampering from anything growing here. So but that's a lesson learned, how I'm going to deal with that stuff. I tried to make this raft very tight, and if you look at my old videos when we built this, I can hardly push this in, but you're still going to get a little splashing. So yeah, those are some of the big things I've learned. Greenhouses, by the way, the battle is always trying to keep things either warm or cool. And yes, this is how we do our windows. And this is a greenhouse on a budget. And I think the last and final thing I want to address is I used the word organic a couple of times, and hydroponics is not organic. Organic is compounds that break down, like compost and stuff like that, soil, things like that. What I do avoid is using chemicals to kill insects and stuff like that. I try to stay organic, but nutrients, pipes, rock wool cubes, none of that's organic. So the word organic is really not a word to use for hydroponics as far as I'm concerned, and I have slipped and said that a few times, and I apologize. And not actually knowing the definition as well as I do now, lesson learned. So is this organic? No. Is it least likely to be exposed to problems with soil and things like that? Yeah, it's more sanitary. But yeah, But it's really important that you, like I pointed out, some of the things that can cause things not to be as sanitary as you want it to be. So having a clean greenhouse, protecting your plants, your nutrients from light is important, and some of the mechanical things are the things that have thrown us a little bit as far as timers, power, good pumps, things like that. So yeah, I just wanted to pass that along, and yeah, we'll just go with that for now. There'll be a lot more lessons learned. But the thing is, the point is, do it. Do this. Try it. Fail a few times. Get better at it. And I hope that's what this channel shows you, is just dive in and start. Learn from others. People are doing videos like myself, and some are much better at it than I am, are explaining what they're doing, and they're not always necessarily right. You want to listen to more than one person, and yeah, and have fun. The next thing I'll talk about, which is not hydroponics, is my chickens. There's a funny little thing that I did, so simple, that I finally did it, and I don't know why I never did it from day one. And let's go, let me step into the chicken pen here real quick. Look out, girls. Is this pallet. What a change. If you look at my older videos, we've always had our food on the ground and water on the ground. They're always kicking dirt and hay and straw into it. And now, just being off the ground like that, yes, it still gets messed up occasionally and stuff like that. This has been a game changer. Get your food off the ground, and one is be less waste, and two, things will stay cleaner. And then your chickens will be much happier. Before I go, I didn't notice this before, but look in the corner here. These chickens are just burying themselves in this loose dirt. Look at this. Central Oregon is real famous for having kind of a sandy dirt, and chickens love it. So I always let my chickens be available to play in the dirt because it's good for their skin. They do it on purpose. It's keep critters off their skin and keeps them cool. And these guys are really burying themselves. I'll get holes in here all the time, and then the next day it'll create a new hole and the old hole's gone. So they're very clever chickens. One more lesson learned, which has always been learned from years ago, is people. People will doubt you, people will ridicule you, people will judge you, people will say, I'll tell you everything that's wrong. And like a meme I just saw the other day, you can give me your opinion, but first of all, I need to value your opinion. Some people are great about giving great feedback, professional, whole works, but people are people. And you'll have your doubters, and you'll have your creeps, and yes, there's always someone with a bigger and better system than you got. And so I look at mine and I'm going, this is the coolest thing ever. And then I watch another video and I'm going, oh my gosh, my stuff looks like a pigsty. So who cares? The point on this channel is to try, and you do it by any means possible, whether you have to use used equipment, go to thrift centers, or hawk something to get, or trade to get some pipes and lumber. You just do the best you can. And if you want to do this, do it. And if you're going to be on YouTube, you're going to deal with the haters, and you're going to deal with the people that are better than you. They just, like, and they'll scold you even. I live in a place in Central Oregon here where generally the people are really good people, and this place is called Crooked River Ranch. And just what was it, yesterday, some guy scolded me because I posted one of my videos on his group, and which is a local group. And I just have to laugh because I've been here for years, not the whole time though. And there's always a person like that around here, or they're in every town. That person who's godlike, and you just shrug them off. They come and go. People like that. The ones that really make a difference are the ones that have been around forever, being part of the community, and not. I keep saying this, and I'll say it over and over again. Freedom and liberty is a two-way street, and it's really important to know this. Is tolerance. It's about tolerance. So if you have acreage and you want the freedom to grow things and have animals and stuff like that, you need to realize your neighbor has that same freedom. So if your neighbor doesn't want to grow animals, and maybe he wants to collect cars or have tractors or store wood on their property, and they're not breaking the law, it's okay. You tolerate it, because that is what freedom and liberty is all about. Tolerance. If you learn that, there will be no problems with racism or a problem with religion and stuff like that. You just tolerate one another, and that is true freedom. That is true liberty. And yes, it's hard. I have a hard time with it. It's hard to practice what I'm preaching here. But tolerance is another thing. So yeah, I get scolded from some guy out of a group that's kind of boring. And if you don't like it, build something better. And I did. So we'll just leave it at that. So don't let people like that get you down. Build it bigger, build it better. And keep doing what you're doing. Once again, if someone's going to give you your opinion, first of all, you have to value them as a person to give you their opinion. So I'll leave it at that. So guys, I want to thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, oh, the other thing before I forget is you notice that we have a small commercial at the end of our videos about RangerRob poopy bags. So some of the people that make some of the best videos really put some work into their videos. I'm probably not real high in that list. And it costs a lot of money. They put a lot of money in their cameras, their time, their equipment, the whole works. And so if they are talking about a product or being sponsored by something, or have, you know, like us, we have the RangerRob poopy bags, it's probably something they believe in. And two, they value their customers, they value the viewers, so it's probably a decent product. Check it out. And it helps them pay for all the good equipment that they spend to give you a quality video. So anyway, that was another thing that got brought up from this guy. And you get promotions on your video. It's like, yeah. I also make a video every day. So anyway, guys, thank you, and please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. We'd really appreciate it. Be safe, be kind, enjoy freedom, enjoy liberty, and be tolerant of one another. So guys, talk to you later. Bye. Our videos are made possible by RangerRob poopy bags, available at Amazon right now. Thank you very much for watching our video. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. Thanks.